Hi there, it's Jane Turner from writewithjane.com, and I just felt like today was the right day to answer a question that I'm asked very often. Now, why today? Well, I just appeared on a television show, The House of Wellness on Channel 7, and that was all about how to handle rejection, essentially, because when people ask me why I do what I do, I often link it to the fact that I was made redundant at the age of 52. I'd been in the public service my whole life, so I knew the ropes really well. I was thrown out into a world that I did not know well at all, and that is the world of business. So there is one rationale for why I do what I do, because I used a book to leverage to build a business, and I now help other people to write their books. And I get a great buzz out of seeing them do what took me 5 years to do in more like at the longest 1 year, but you can do it much faster than that if you have the support that you need, and I give you all of my strategies that I finally learnt. I'm now on my 4th book, so it's not a 5-year journey for me anymore, but it had to be a 5-year journey because I did some deep internal work, and that came through the process of writing. And what I want to do is read you something now. It's something that I put into a volume of work that involved a lot of women. It was called The Book of Inspiration for Women by Women. And this hits right at the heart of why I do what I do. So the title that my page in this book got was called Catharsis Through Writing. And here it is. I heard it said that it's never too late to have happy childhood, but it wasn't until I was 52 that I found out that it was true. One of the wonderful and unexpected consequences of writing my story down for my first book, which was called Thrive in Midlife, is that it opened up a portal to an immense pool of love and connection with the mother that I never really bonded with before. The backstory here is that I had learned how to shut my feelings down. And that learning took place when I was in the womb. I learned this because that was what I needed to do to avoid being overwhelmed by the trauma involved in losing my twin in a case of vanishing twin syndrome. No matter how shut off my feelings were, though, I managed to have an incredibly cathartic experience when I wrote about being grateful that my daughter got to at least have a year with her grandmother before she passed away. I hadn't seen it coming at all, but even now I can feel the well of love that was opened up for me on that day. And when I wrote these words, I'm going off the script now. When I wrote these words in my book, the actual words were that I was grateful to the drug called tamoxifen because that drug gave my mother an extra 5 years, and that 5 years gave her time to get to know my daughter Lucy, and it got Lucy the opportunity to have the warmth and the deep connection with her grandmother. And when I wrote those words, I call it a cathartic experience because that's the only words that I can find that remotely fit what happened. I literally felt my heart open, and I felt myself connect with my mother and to much more fully connect with my daughter. And to call that a priceless experience is an understatement in the extreme. So look, if any of you have the slightest inkling of wanting to write a book, whether it's a memoir or whether it's a business building book, and my God, Thrive in Midlife just set me on a trajectory where I wound up on an international stage speaking. I've just been on television now. That's not my first time on television. I've been on the radio, in magazines, in newspapers like The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald. If any of this resonates with you, please be in touch with me at writewithjane.com because it's the journey of a lifetime. You will never look back. And thank you so much for watching. And I'd love you to share this if there's anyone else you know who it would be helpful for. Thank you and goodbye for now.